Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Gananam Tvam Ganatatim Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamashastvam Jyeshtrajam Brahmana Brahmanaspatana Shunvan Utvidisi Sadhanam Devim Vapachajam Ajanin Tadevastam Vishrupa Pishadanti Sano Mandresham Udjam Duhana Denu Vagusman Usashtivom Om Swadishtya Madishtya Pavasvasomadharya Indraya Pathve Sutaha Rakshoha Vishwachashin Abhiyon Mayohatam Truna Samadrivago Dhatam Vamanishto Rutrahantama Pashradamovanam Om Buhu Om Bhuvam Swaham Maham Janam Tapam Satyam Tat Savitur Varenyam Barko Devastidimihi Dio Yonam Prachodhyat Om Kalyanatvigatraya Kamtakta Pradhane Srimad Venkatanathaya Srinivasayate Namaha Pujaya Ravindraya Siddha Dharmartacha Bhitam Kalpurkshaya Namatam Kamadhenve Hari Om Om Bhoktre Namaha. Salutations to the Supreme Lord Sri Narayana, the Paramatman, the Parabrahman. Prostrations, Sastanga Namaskaram to the Supreme Lord who has made this world a most beautiful and enjoyable one. He, the giver of happiness, He, the giver of comfort, He, the giver of pleasure at all levels of existence. This existence has many, many dimensions. It has got many beautiful perspectives at the body level, at the mental level, at the spiritual level, at the energy level, at the level of consciousness. Different levels of existence. It is a great mystery. And the Supreme Lord has created this universe. What use is this universe consisting of the planets and the stars, the sun and the moon, the rivers and the mountains, the planets, the plants and the fruits and the flowers and the foods He produces? What is the use of these seasons arriving in time, the seasons of spring, summer, winter and rainy season arriving in time, and the harvesting of the food and the growth of beautiful, tastiest foods? What is the use of all these? Creation. The Creator, having created all these, He has entered into the bodies of all the beings, and He is the enjoyer, He is the Bhoktre, He is the Bhoktre Namaha. There is the element of joy and bliss, energy at this level, at every level of existence. The whole universe is pervaded by supreme energy and consciousness. The supreme energy, everything is energy. There is an atom, and if we break the atom, if we split the atom, boom, there is energy in the form of light is released. So the self and eternal part of the Supreme Self, who is the Creator, has entered into the bodies of all the beings, and He has become an enjoyer. He has become the Bhoktre. The Bhoktre, having entered into the bodies, limited to the limited judgments of the bodies and the mind, has no power of creation. He can only enjoy, he can only see, hear, taste, smell, touch, drink, experience all the three qualities of sattva, rajas and tamas, that are the three qualities of matter, that are the three things, three qualities that enamors the soul and makes it get attached to this world and undergo the cycle of birth and death. An eternal part of the Supreme Self has entered into the body and the soul and the Jivatma. Thinks it is the body, thinks it is the mind, thinks it is enjoying, and thinks it is the only thing that exists. This body itself is it, and gets attached to these qualities and wants to continue its enjoyment repeatedly again and again. But all that is created, all that is manifested, is controlled by the Supreme Order, has got a beginning, undergoes changes, and comes to an end. But still the eternal spirit, the Atma, thinking it is the body, being attached to the body, desiring to continue its experience and enjoyments of the things of this world, again takes birth again and again. This is the repetition of the birth and death. And during the course of its journey of enjoyment, it commits so many inadvertent actions for which it has to pay, and unless it abandons the karma palatyagam, unless it abandons the fruits of all karma, it is attached to the karma and undergoes the travails and the miseries of its own action. Om Sukadaya Namah, Om salutations to Him who is the giver of all happiness. The Supreme Lord is the giver of happiness. Sri Harinarayana, the Supreme Self Paramatman, is the giver of happiness. He has made the journey of life so enjoyable, but for those who are conscious and who are aware and who know the limitations, who realize the quality of life on this earth. All things that we see, hear, taste, smell have got a beginning, undergoes changes, and they are all the creators of sensations. They do not give joy or bliss which is of the spiritual nature, which is of the nature of the soul. So the soul, the jiva, confuses this joy and bliss to be these sensations. So when it experiences pleasurable sensation, when it likes the sensations, it becomes the pleasure and thinks is all in this world and gets attached to it, forgetting its own nature. The nature of matter, which consists of the body, made of the great elements, air, water, fire, earth and space, accompanied by the ego, intellect and the mind. These are the 8 aspects of Prakriti. Prakriti Ashtada. So this constitutes the body that has evolved from the earth and goes back to the earth after the Atma leaves the body. And the Atma is pure enjoyer, the Bhoktre, the Satchit Ananda Swarupi. It is pure energy with consciousness. And this Atma is the powerhouse, is the power that activates, that makes the body a living entity. So the higher nature of Supreme Self is bliss. Whatever divine is there, it is blissful. Since the soul is attached to the qualities of objects, it reflects the qualities of the objects. We are the pure reflecting medium of this world. What is outside, we experience it inside. So our method of the Supreme Lord is the giver of happiness, giver of bliss. So to experience this bliss, we approach the Supreme Lord in various forms, in various aspects. We offer the Supreme Lord the prayers, chanting this power and glory of the Supreme Lord, like the Vishnusahasranama, the 1,000 names, the power indicating the power and glory of the Supreme Lord. And by chanting the name of the Supreme Lord, who is the ocean of the nectar of bliss, we experience the joy. He gives us immense happiness. Then we invite the Supreme Lord as a revered guest. We invite this, just as we invite the sages, the saints, offer them all our love and devotion. We invite the Supreme Lord, and we invite even the holy sages and saints, the enlightened sages, and offer them argyam, padyam. There are various methods of worship that we offer to the individual persons who are the saints, and the same is also offered to the Supreme Lord, the idol, in the form of an idol, having done the avahanam. The idol representing the Supreme Lord is offered the worship. Various stages of worship are argyam, padyam. We offer our offerings, we offer padyam, we wash his feet. Then we offer the vastram, argyam, padyam, vastram. We offer him the clothes. Then we offer him the avaranam. We adore the Supreme Lord with various ornaments, with various jewels. Argyam, padyam, abhishekam, vastram, abhishekam. We bathe the Lord in the honey, in the milk, by the milk, in the curds, in the fresh water, in the coconut water. What all He has created to make it fragrant. And we, after abhishekam, we offer the Supreme Lord vastram, then abharanam. We adore the Supreme Lord. Then we offer the food, naivedyam. After the food naivedyam, we offer various chantings indicating His power and glory, the stotram. Then dhupam and deepam, we offer the incense smoke, and then we offer the mangalarti indicating the enlightenment of the Supreme Lord. Dhupam, deepam, artim, and total prostrations. These are the offerings we perform to Supreme Lord. 10 steps of worship to the Supreme Lord, which verily reflected within ourselves. So we get back, the Supreme Lord blesses us with the same qualities. We experience immense joy. He is the Sukadaya Namah. The ultimate form is the meditation, the dhyan itself. We perform dhyans, being seated in the Padmasana in a clean place, on a thin cloth with the head, neck and erect, bow back erect. We breathe in deeply, slowly, holding the breath as long as possible, as comfortable as possible, and deeping out and breathing out slowly, deeply, and holding it as comfortable as possible. Meanwhile, focusing our inner eye in between the eyebrows, the Ajna Chakra, we chant Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namah Shivaya of our Ishtadevata, and we enter into the Supreme Consciousness. This is the yoga becoming one with the Supreme Brahman, which is the giver of immense joy and bliss. The name, form and meditation of the Supreme Lord gives us immense joy, makes us purified, gives us energy, and He is the Sukadaya Namaha, Om Naikajaya Namaha. Om salutations to the Supreme Lord who takes birth again and again for the preservation of Dharma, the truth and righteousness. The fight of the truth and the untruth, the evil and the noble, the positive and the negative is eternal. That is the way of the world, that is the positive dynamism, one is the support of the other. The enemy is the support of the friend who gives for strength. The weight is the resistance that gives strength. If we indicate we are strong, we have to lift the weight, we have to fight the resistance. The strength comes from the resistance. But for this resistance, there is no meaning of strength. So all these are polar opposites, one supporting the other. But anyone gains the upper hand, the imbalance is created, and the Supreme Lord enters with His extraordinary powers, with a fraction of His powers, to maintain the balance of movement. This is the order. The Supreme Lord is neither positive nor negative, nor male nor female. He is both male, He is both female. He is the supporter of both the evil and the noble. He is the supporter of the Hiranyakashipu and the Prahalada. He is the supporter of Ravana and Ram. He is the supporter of both the saint and the sinner. The strength of the Supreme Lord flows equally into these and they fight out. The fight is among the qualities of Sattva, Rajas and Rajas and Tamas, each overpowering the other, each subduing the other, each dominating the other, and this is the way of the world. So the Supreme Self takes birth on his own at his free will for the sake of common good, to protect the good and the noble and destroy the evil whenever it gets the upper hand. This war between right and wrong, wicked and evil, the righteous and the frauds goes on forever. And that is the way of the world. The Supreme Lord Himself comes down as an incarnation with a fraction of His power, and the evil, when evil appears to gain the upper hand. His incarnations are many, as Vishnu, as Varaha, Narsimha, Parshurama, Sri Rama, Sri Vamana and Sri Krishna. He has taken many births. Sri Vishnu comes down in many forms when there is the upper hand of the evil and the wicked over the righteous and the honest. Ajayamano Buddha Vijayate, Taittiriya Upanishad says, the unborn shines in many innumerable ways. Om Agrajaya Namaha. Om salutations to the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Brahman, Sri Hari Narayana, who is born as the eldest, earlier to everything else. That is the Hiranyagarbha. He only Agre Asadeva Agrame Asit. Asadeva Agrame Asit. That means only unmanifest was there. Earlier in the beginning, only that Brahman was there in the unmanifest form. The unmanifest form in the form of energy and consciousness. The form of unmanifest. Even today, the Supreme Lord is unmanifest. He is not to be seen, hear, touch, taste, smell. Nobody can experience, nobody can say there is God. Even the very present, the existence of God is denied. The existence of the Supreme Lord as God is denied because nobody sees the Supreme Energy. Nobody sees the fire without the fuel. The fire is hidden in the fuel. Nobody sees the strength except in the strong person. Nobody sees the life energy except in a living person. Nobody sees matter without the light. The light is experienced in the presence of dark objects. So even today the Supreme Brahman is unmanifest. It cannot be experienced because he is the only experiencer. So, but the same unmanifest which was only earlier is also today also it is only one, but its forms are innumerable. The creative intelligence of the Supreme Lord has created the innumerable forms of the birds, the aquatics, the animals, the human beings, maybe even in different planets having the components of the different planetary qualities, exhibiting different energy, different qualities, different activities, different traits, and this is the creative intelligence of the Supreme Lord, but He Himself remaining unmanifest. So, this is not a matter, the Supreme Lord is not a matter of mind or speech or intelligence, yatravacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha, because the divine energy that is causing the movement of the speech and the mind and the objects and the world, He is Himself is the Supreme Lord. So He is the one who is the first, Agrajayanma, He is the one firstborn. He is the one who created. He Himself becomes man and woman. So is represented in the Ardhanarishvara. Nari, Ardhan, half woman, half man. He Himself became man and woman and indulged in creation. He went on creating And he, even today, he is the first in the unmanifest form. But the bodies he has created are innumerable. Having entered into these bodies, he exhibits in innumerable forms. And the Atma which he has entered into the body is neither male nor female. It has no gender, it has no qualities, it is pure energy, consciousness, bliss. Satchidananda Swarupa. So he is the Agrajaya Namah. He has always been one, he is the one and he is the one. But the manifest, the forms, his creations are innumerable. Om Anirvindaya Namaha. Om, salutation to the Supreme Lord who is free from all sorrows. Sorrow is the thinking, is the thoughts. The nature and quality of the thoughts that flow in our mind is called the sorrow or the joy. If we do not like what is happening and things happen suddenly, unexpectedly, which is not to our liking, it becomes the sorrow. Anything that happens to our liking as per our desires, it becomes a celebration. Om Anirvindaya, the Supreme Lord, is beyond all these qualities, beyond all these hopes, because he is the ultimate state. The Atma is the ultimate state. All these our positions, all our bodies, beings, all our whatever in our present state, this is the downfall of the immeasurable, infinite Atma, having entered into the body, thinking itself is body and struggling to give permanence to the body, to give authenticity to this body. It is the absolute foolishness that the Supreme Atma of infinite creative intelligence has reduced to this state. So we are always struggling to achieve liberation from these limitations of body and mind. So the moment we enter into these limitations of body and mind, the sorrow is inevitable, the misery is inevitable, the pain is inevitable, the disease is inevitable. All these are qualities of the body. The body undergoes changes from birth to childhood to adolescence, to youth to middle age to old age, and each changes brings its own disturbance and causes inconveniences to the body. And these are all the nature of the different qualities at different ages. So sorrow and pain is inevitable to the soul which is attached to the body, which is attached to the world, because this world is a continuous flow. It undergoes all changes. What we bank on disappears. Nothing is guaranteed. This is the beauty of life. Nothing is guaranteed. There is absolutely no surety of tomorrow. The banks may go bankrupt, our health may fail, the people whom we depend on as our own, they go their own way, neglecting us, and ourselves may disappear. This is the way of the world, nothing is guaranteed. What we think as permanent will disappear with the person. Because all this, our life is only body-centered, body-oriented. Everything is related to the body, everything is connected to the body, everything for this whole world is body-centric. With the disappearance of the body, all the things connected with the body, the name and the fame, the wealth, everything, the achievements, the ignominy, everything also disappears with the body itself. And the Supreme Lord is being unmanifest. Satchidananda, not the body, not attached to the body, not connected with the body, is only a Bhoktre, is only a creator in the unattached form, and he has no sorrow. He is the Anirvindaya Namah. if we study this Vishnusahasranama in the most beautiful, this is such a beautiful guidance for life that if we emulate what is stated as the divine qualities, Anirvindaya Namaha, the Supreme Lord has no sorrow. He has no sorrow because he is not attached to the body and he is not attached to the world, and keeps his mind free from all desires and fears. So this is the divine state. So if we follow the Supreme Lord, the quality of the Supreme Lord, we experience the nature and quality, the supreme bliss of the Supreme Lord. So Naikajaya Namaha, just as the Supreme Lord takes innumerable forms, the soul also takes many births. And Agrajaya Namaha, in the beginning only Supreme Lord was there. Even today he is the same. So he is the Bhoktre Namaha in the body. Having entered into the body, he is the Bhoktre, and freed from the body, he is the Kartru. So Bhoktre Namaha, Agrajaya Namaha, Naikajaya Namaha, Agrajaya Namaha, Anirvindaya Namaha. All these things, all these qualities, the power and glories of the Supreme Lord, if we emulate, we also experience the divine state. Sorrow is the quality of limited and the finite, which tries to show that it is eternal and immortal. This is the struggle. All finite and limited come to an end. Whoever is identified and attached to the small and the limited comes to grief because of his ignorance that what he thought as permanent comes to an end. Alpenana sukham. This is what the Upanishads declare. Anything small and finite cannot give us happiness because it is there now and gone tomorrow. Om Sadamashne Namaha. Om salutations to the Supreme Lord, who is very patient and hearing to all his creation. Sadamashne, the supremely tranquil, patient and peaceful. No hurry, no anxiety, no tension, nothing to attain, nothing to lose. Total Satchidananda Swarupi, total peace and tranquility. Because everything is an accumulation around this Satchidananda Swarupi. In our essence, in our content, we are the Atma, the Satchidananda Swarupi. Pure energy with consciousness and bliss, and with the power of knowing and with supreme creative intelligence. The nature of the supreme creative energy, supreme energy is creative, along with creative intelligence is the creation. It goes on creation. The Supreme Lord goes on creating this world. He is ever at work. Energy means movement. So it follows its creative intelligence because it is the nature. There is no goal. There is no goal to life. We have to realize living now with all focusing of our energy and consciousness is the way to live, not guided by desires or fears. A person who has got a goal in life, it is a ill-directed, misdirected life. We have to focus all our divine energy for the present on the work we are doing, which itself carries us forward. Because any desire we possess, it is overtaken by other factors and our desire becomes very, very small, because anything that is projected by the limited is also the limited. We have to realize this. Why our desires are futile, why our goals are futile, because these desires and goals are the projections of the mind. The mind itself is limited and finite and is built on the past, on the memories. The mind can never think of the unknown. The mind can never think of the new. So all our goals, and all our desires are based on our memory to recapitulate, and it is a projection in newer and newer forms. But in reality, there is nothing new about our desires and goals. And even when we achieve these goals, we appear disappointed because it is already the time, the moment of life has overtaken all our desires and goals. Someone is already ahead of us, far ahead of us. The technology has moved, the consciousness has spread, the creative energy, has moved forward, and our goals and desires appear to be very small and stupid. So the best way to lead the life is to focus all our energy on the things we are doing right now. So that energy moves us forward, and this is possible. This is the nature of being patient, calm and quiet, being patient and totally focused in the present. One who is totally focused in the present is not hurrying to move forward with some other objective. For the Supreme Self, there is no hurry. There is no time factor. There is still all the time in the world for the Supreme Lord, since everything is the cause and effect in this world of relativity. This world itself is the movement of cause and effect. This worry, this tension, this anxiety, this fear is all for the mind which wants to achieve quickly, since the time is very short, because mind itself is very short, and it is the small and the limited. For all things small and limited, the time is short. So it has to hurry, it has to move forward quickly. And the Supreme Devotee has dissolved his mind, has no desires. There is nothing to be achieved, nothing to be attained, nowhere to go, because the Supreme Consciousness everywhere. Because the time and space and energy itself is contained in that, and he becomes one with the consciousness and bliss. So, Anirvindaya Namah, one who has no disappointment, one who has no fear, one who has no worry. He is realized, he knows everything comes to an end. The body itself is an happening. The body has a beginning, and it is definitely going to disappear. Jatasya maranam dhruvam. The death is definite to the body. The suffering and discomfort to the body is inevitable. The body is very susceptible to injuries, breakages, distortions, discomforts. It is bound to be there. And anybody expects that he is eternally happy will be the most disappointed person, because the suffering is definite to the body, and the mind attached to the body also suffers. And one who is free from the attachment to the body and mind is free from all anxiety and fears and disappointments. Om Lokadhisthanaaya Namah. Om salutation to the Supreme Brahman, who supports the three worlds, though he is without any support. The earth supports all things. We are building huge buildings, dams, the mountains are supported on the earth. All things huge and immense, they are supported on earth. But the earth itself is a floating mass. It is moving in the cosmic ocean. There is no up or down to the earth. We look up, but what we look up is down, and what we do look down is up. There is no up or down for the earth, because the earth itself is floating in this cosmic ocean. Who is supporting this earth, which supports all objects, bodies and beings, all the matters, all the mountains, all things that exist on this. So also who supports this moon, who supports this Saturn, the Jupiter, who supports this sun, who support these innumerable stars, who are all floating. Though they appear to be moving, they are all stable. Though they appear to be unstable, they are very, very stable. Though they appear to be pulled down by its weight, is not pulled down. Who is supporting? So this is the great mystery of the universe, the supreme creative intelligence of the Supreme Lord, who has made them stable by themselves, by the gravitational pull of one over the other, keeping their orbits, keeping the seasons, keeping the time of the movement of the sun and the moon, the darkness and the light. It is a great wonder and mystery. So we can only wonder, and we can only offer our love and devotion to the Supreme Lord, who has entered into our bodies to experience these myriads of nature, these mysteries of nature, this mystery of creation we are enjoying, which is He Himself is the Bhoktre, He is Himself is the enjoyer, and He Himself is the creator. He is the creator at the macro level and the enjoyer, the Bhoktre at the micro level, living within our bodies. Tvam dveveshu pratvam hwamahe tvam bhabhuta prasnasu sasahi. We invoke you, the first among the divine power. The Supreme Lord is the first. He is the Agrajaya Namaha. This is the beautiful mantra of the Rig Veda. First mandala, 102nd Sukta, 9th mantra. He is the first among the gods. He is the first among the divine powers. The divine powers are the gods. The divine powers are the air, water, fire, earth, Rudra, Vishnu, Indra, sun, moon, all the divine powers, Rudra, Saraswati, Lakshmi, all powers which make the life a beautiful reality and which makes life blissful and which fulfills all the desires of the embodied beings. But the source, the essence, the creator, the Supreme Lord, all-pervading Supreme Spirit, Sri Hari Narayana, Supreme Brahman, the creator, the Parabrahman. He is the heart and soul. He is the essence of all these gods, all the divine powers. Earlier He is the one, now also He is one, future He is going to be one, and all these gods and divine powers are emanating from Him only. So, from Deveshu Pratamam, among the gods you are the first. Havamahe, you are the first to whom we offer our love and devotion and our offerings. And Prutnatu Sasihihi, among the divine powers. We invoke you first among the divine powers. He is the Supreme. There is nothing greater or superior to the Supreme Lord. If we apply to our everyday life, we have to realize that there is nothing superior or greater than ourselves. The whole world exists because of us. The Atma residing in the body is the King of the kings, the God of the gods. That is the Supreme. All the things around it, all the world, the whole world is built around this Atma. Around this Atma is the body. The Atma is around the body, the mind is around the body, our creative intelligence is around the body. Our name, fame, wealth, powers, glories, and all the ignominies, the blamings, the shortcomings, the defects are also around this Atma only. And the Atma, the power of Atma flows unto these and makes them appear real, gives them credentials. So we say my body, my mind, my family, my wife, my children, my name, my fame, my property, my powers, all this way, my, but it is never the I. All this my is built around the I. So aham only, I only is real. And all this mind built around I is all false. They are subject to change, they have got a beginning, they undergo change and they disappear. With I leaving the body, all the things, mine also disappear. So I is the greatest, I am the greatest. Aham Brahmasmi. This is the simple. So our Atma is the greatest. I have the power to shut off myself from this world. The world does not exist. Where is the world when we are sleeping? Where is the world when I close my eyes, close my ears, close my nose and focus myself? Where is this world? So, if I want, I can close this world. I can shut off this whole world from me. So, only I am there. Because I is there, this mind is there, the world is there. So I is the greatest. Nothing in this world has got any importance. Nothing in this world has got its own predominance, has got its own power. It is the power of the self, power of the Atma that flows into all these things and gives them importance. If we consider even a lump of diamond as valuable, it becomes valuable. If we consider it as a lump of stone and discard it, it is just a pebble. So also the wealth. For a old man, for a dying man who has no energy, what is the use of anything concerning this world? He is just closing down all the energy living in the body and becoming, the fuel is being burnt out and only the fire is becoming unmanifest. So what is the use of this world? This world is there only when the form of fire is there and the energy is there. As we become older and older, as we lose our energy, as the fuel is consumed, so the world also around loses all its energy because it is our energy. It is the energy of the other Atma flowing into the things are all around us and they make them important. Nothing is important unless we give importance to it, and only when we give it importance it becomes important, otherwise it is all garbage. Om Adbhutaya Namaha. Om salutations to the Supreme Lord, who himself is the wonder of the wonders and who his creation is wonders. Everything is wonder. We can only marvel at this creation. We can only imagine and project, imagine the Creator, the power, and so only His power and glory are the indications of the Supreme Lord. So, Adbhutaya Namaha. Now, ना सांप्रायः प्रतिभाति बालं प्रमाद्यन्तं वित्तमोहेन मूढम् अयं नास्ति पर इति मानि पुनर्वशम् अपद्यते मे. So this is the Katha Upanishad says in the first chapter, second section, sixth mantra. This is the Katha Upanishad is about the teachings of the Yama. the god of death to the Nachiketa, who is a seeker of knowledge. The story of Nachiketa is very, very beautiful, enunciated, declared, explained in the Katha Upanishad. Nachiketa will be coming to Yama because his father in anger had told once his father Nachiketa, a very bright young boy, dedicated to truth and righteousness, a very simple boy who is not corrupted by this world, who lived on truth, who wanted to know the truth, was observing his king, his father who was a king, and his father conducted a yajna and was offering the gifts to the brahmanas, to the guests. So he was giving old and all emancipated cows which were useless, which were not giving any milk or which are not of any value to those brahmanas. And Nachiketa did not like his father, though a king, a very miser and small-minded, giving these old and emancipated cows to the brahmanas as gifts. So he asked, why you are giving these old and emancipated gifts? So I am also young boy, I am also useless. To whom you are going to give me? So his father did not reply. So when Nachiketa asked him the question, to whom you are going to give me, just as you are giving these old emancipated cows to the brahmanas, his father got angry. I am going to give you to Yama, the god of death. So Nachiketa straightway went to the god of death, Yama. He did penance and he went to Yama's door, and he said, look, my father has given me to you, so it is my duty to offer to you. So he went to Yama's house, but Yama was not there. He waited for 3 days and nights in front of his door. So this is the most beautiful Upanishadic story. So after 3 nights of waiting, Yama came to his house and saw this young Vatu, young Brahmana, young brahmachari, waiting in front of his house, and felt very sorry. It is a sin and a crime to make the brahmacharis, the seeker of truth, those who are saints and sages, wait in front of our house. They are all venerable. We have to invite them, give them food and treat them with all honor and respect, with all devotion. This is the duty of every person, to respect the sages, the saints, the well-meaning, the honest, the brahmanas, who have no selfish desires, who are supreme devotees of the Supreme Lord. So Yama asked Nachiketa, you asked for 3 boons. I will give you 3 boons. So Nachiketa, first boon was, let my father's anger be over. You destroy his anger. So Yama said, okay, it is done. And let him have, second boon is, let him have same love and affection to me when I return to him. Yes, it is done. And then the third boon Nachiketa asked was very, very complex. He asked, what is death and what happens to death? So it is only the Yama, the god of death, who knows the secret of death, what happens after the death, and all these things. So Yama, to keep it ever secret, he told Nachiketa, you ask anything in this world, the kingdoms, the wealth, any pleasures, any power, I'll give you, but not the secret of death, not the knowledge of the secret of death. So Nachiketa, being very intelligent and being a seeker of supreme truth, he said, this thing you are showing, the impulses, the diversions you are showing to me, they are all inferior to my own asking. What I desire to know from you is the highest, and you are misdirecting me for other pleasures of this world. Also ends with the body itself. I know they are all temporary, and as my body grows old, they also become unimportant and disappear. But let me have the supreme knowledge. So Yama teaches him this, gives the supreme knowledge of secret of death. He tells that death is only for the body. The suffering and travails of the body is inevitable for everybody, whether he is a king or a pauper. And it is the Atma, which is the changeless, fearless, deathless spirit. And all that thing he teaches to Nachiketa. So this Na sampraya pratibhati balam pramadyantam mitra mohena mudam mayam nasti paraitimani punarvashum upadyate me. So the secret of death is the most secret, it is very deep and unknowable. And he who thinks, Yama says to Nachiketa, he who thinks that this life on earth is permanent is really a fool. This is and he doesn't understand the secrets, the great secrets, the deep hidden secrets of the other worlds. He does not understand. And those who are always immersed in the things of this world like name, fame, wealth, the pleasures of this world, they come under my power again and again. I control them. Those who think of the lands, the buildings, the gold, the diamonds, the name, power, all that are attached to this body are connected with the body, which are all temporary. The foolish people who think all this is real and all these things that one should live for, they come again and again under my control. I control them. And this knowledge of the Atma is supremely wonderful. And those who tell this knowledge of this, they are wonderful. Those who hear this knowledge, they wonder, even though they do not understand, the very listening to this knowledge is wonder and makes them wonderful people. So it is not only the very purpose, the very journey of the supreme divine knowledge makes this life blissful. And the Supreme Lord is the creation, the creative knowledge, the creative intelligence, the creative process of the Supreme Lord is extremely wonderful. Just as the male and the female, they come together, the male seed enters the womb of the female and it grows and it comes out like a child, and the child has its own qualities, tries to stand up, walk, startles, falls down, then starts involving itself in the games, in the plays, with the toys and the dolls, and as it grows up, it gets involved in the opposite sex. Is all a wonder how all these things happen, and they get in. The male and the female come together, again they create another life comes out, the children are born, and all these things happen at the right age, at the right time. The hormones are produced according to the age, keeping in tune with the creative process. All this is a wonder, this wonder of the wonders. and you wonder the secret of this nature itself is wonderful. How the creative intelligence of a duck is contained in the egg. How the creative intelligence of a banyan tree, of a mango tree, is embedded in the seed itself. And how the seed gets into the soil, germinates, becomes the plant, becomes a tree, and produces the seeds, and again the seeds, they contain the same characteristics of the tree, and the baby is born to the parents, they have the characteristics of the parents. How this carried forward is a wonder of the wonders. How the seasons arrive in time, how the rains are formed, how the sun rays carry the water, this moisture from the ocean to form the clouds, how the clouds are transported in required quantity at required time to the required place, and how the rains are sent down. They are all wonders of the wonders. And how the rain inundates the wets of the soil and makes the food to grow, the plants to grow. All the wonder of the wonders. And all how the medicinal herbs contain the antidotes, contain the medicine to cure the diseases of the body that are beings. It is one of the wonders of the wonders. These are all the world the Supreme Lord has created. The wonder of the wonders is how He has taught the birds to fly, birds to make their nest in the tree, and how He has taught the spiders to weave a finest web which is stronger than the steel. It's all wonder of the wonders. And how every animal finds its food, how it protects itself, and how it procreates and continues. These are all the wonder of the wonders. All this creative intelligence of the Supreme Lord is all the wonder of the wonders. So, and all these, they go on, and we can only wonder at life, and there is no end to this creative intelligence and creative energy of the Supreme Lord. Om Sanate Namaha. Om says salutations to the Supreme Lord, who is the most ancient of all the ancients. He is so ancient that He is the time. Even before the time was there, He is there. The time is for the limited, which has the beginning and the end. The time is the measure between the two events. Time is for that which has got beginning, which undergoes change and which disappears. Time is for that which is now and gone tomorrow, and which goes away afterwards. There is no time for that which is always there. So that Tat is the Supreme Brahman, as indicated in the Upanishads. We call this Tat, the wonder of the wonders, as Tat, because we call the Supreme Brahman, the Supreme Sri Hari Narayana. The name is for us to relate our body and mind with the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, it is the Upanishads, the Vedanta calls it Tat. Tat Om Tat Sat, that is the truth. Om Tat Brahma, that is the Brahman. Om Tat Vayu, that is the creative, that is the life energy. Tadatma Om, that is the Atma. Tat Satyam Om, that is the truth. Om Tat Sarvam, that is all. Om Tat Purnama Om, that which contains, that is the supreme names. So Tat. So it is called the Tat. So there is no time for Tat, because Tat is supreme creative energy with supreme consciousness, and there is no time for that, because time and space are contained. In reality, time by itself does not exist. It exists in measurement, in comparison, and exists in relativity. Time exists always in relationship to movement. So we always refer time when the two are involved. vary the time only when one is there. When we have to reach a place, we have got a place of origin and we have got a place of destination. So we calculate the time depending on the speed of our movement. So this time also changes. So the time itself is relative. Time exists because of two, the time exists because of the relativity. So the time is a factor of relativity. So this is beautifully explained by Einstein. When we travel at the speed beyond the speed of light, the time is absorbed within this light, the speed of light. The time becomes smaller, even becomes negative. So we start regaining the time. If we travel at the speed of light, at the speed exceeding that of the speed of light, we suppose we start our journey from the earth and travel to space, the infinite space, at the speed exceeding that of the speed of the light, and we return after many years. After 20 years, we will have become 30 years younger. A person leaving the earth when he was 50, returning to earth after 20 years travel at the speed exceeding that of speed of light, he will be only 20 years. He will have gone back 20 years. This is the wonder of the wonders. This is Adbhutaya Namaha. So the Supreme Lord who travels at the speed of light, exceeding the speed of light, is ever young. So the idols we create, the images of the gods we create are ever young. They never become old because they are not subjected. They are not a bodies subjected to the vagaries of light. They are light. Jyotishe Namaha. The Supreme Lord, Parabrahman Sri Narayana, is the form of the light who shines all these things, who has got time and space and within himself, who travels at this much higher speed than that of light, and he is the one imparting this speed to the light. So Sanatana Namaha is the most ancient of the ancient, and Supreme Self is not a process and not a movement. It is always there. It covers itself, the past, present and the future. Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhuve Namaha Om. Time itself is his Swarupa and manifestation. Sachidanand Om Mahat Pradhanam Shriya Kalarupane Sachidananda Swarupane Namo Narayane Harihi. This Mahat, this nature, this existence, Kala, this time, this Purusha, this energy contained in the matter. Om Mahat Purusha, Pradhana Purusha, Kala and time, these are his forms. These are his measurable. These are come into the purview of our consciousness. But Satchidananda Swarupana, the truth, consciousness, bliss, knowledge. So the Supreme Self is not a process, not a movement. It is always there. It covers itself in the past because Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhuve Namaha. It contains all the past, present and the future. And time itself is his Rupa, is the manifest that can be measurable between two events, between two processes. Anything containing from one to the other, when two are involved in time, there is no time exists for one, and the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Brahman is only one. There is no second, there is no parallel to that, and there is no time. So it is only the ancient. Sanatana Namaha Om Sanatana. Om Sanatana Samaya Namaha Om. Salutations to the Supreme Lord, who being the most ancient is the cause of Brahma, Vishnu and Ishvara, who are themselves considered eternal. So the Brahma, the creative energy, the creative intelligence is eternal because it is the nature of the Supreme Lord. And the Vishnu, the creative, the the consciousness that supports the whole universe. What all is created by Brahma is supported, it is provided, it is taken care of, it is experienced by the Vishnu, the God, the Supreme Lord of Consciousness, which is always there. This is the another aspect of Supreme Brahman. Supreme Brahman is Sri Hari Narayana as Paramatma. His three facets, three forms are Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, Ishvara. Brahma is the creative aspects, the world that comes into manifest. All this world, all this universe we see, hear, taste, smell, touch, experience, it is all the aspects of Brahma, the creation. And what it supports, all these beings, which are supported, the spark of the divine having entered into these bodies, make them alive, along with the consciousness experience the qualities of objects, provides the food, makes them move, makes them enjoy, makes them experience, makes them realize. All this is done by Vishnu, who is the protector, who is the provider, and who is the supporter. And then what all is created is absorbed, has to disappear. It undergoes changes, ultimately it disappears, because as long as this Atma is supporting the body exists as an entity. And this Atma is the supreme fire, it is the fire Agnideva, which is, and all the bodies are the fuels. Everything in this world is a fuel, and this fire Agnideva, the Atma, goes on burning up the body, consuming the body from inside. The body as a fuel is being burned slowly to maintain the body temperature at 98.4 degrees. So how our body temperature is maintained at 98.4 degrees centigrade, whether it is in blistering heats of Saudi Arabia or in the cold of Antarctica, because our body itself is a fuel which is slowly burning and creating its own temperature. And Atma is the atomic reactor, Atma is the atom, Anave Namaha. So our Atma is the fire which is burning this body as a fuel and maintaining this body as a cinder. It is a smoldering fire. Our body is a burning fuel. So it is burning, but it is, so how the temperature is slowly maintained at controlled temperature of 98.4 degrees, giving strength to all the bodies, is a wonder of the wonders, Adbhutaya Namaha. So if really we wonder, we enjoy, we rejoice just looking at these things. So the three facets of creative Supreme Brahman is Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, the creative aspects, the supporting aspects, the procreating aspects, the continuity of the progeny, and then the Ishvara, the annihilating aspect. So he is the supreme consciousness against which all the things come into being. When all things vanish, only that is the existence. That is the Supreme Brahman, that is the all-pervading Supreme Spirit, Sri Hari Narayana, the nameless and the formless Parabrahma Swarupa. So, when all these things created disappear, all what remains is that. When this body is consumed as a fuel, when the last spark of the fire is left and leaves, it becomes just a lump of ash. If we observe the process of burning of a log of wood, so the log of wood goes on burning, and ultimately it becomes covered by ash, and only a small spark is left, and that also disappears. This is the fate of all the body, this is the fate of all the fuels. Everything we see in this world is all fuel. And the Supreme Brahman is Agni Deva. So the various aspects of the performance of the Agni Deva, the Supreme Lord, the energy, the creative energy, they are all explained beautifully in the thousands of mantras in the Rig Veda. So this Agni Deva itself is Parabrahman. Agni is the creative energy aspects of the Parabrahman. And the consciousness aspects of this Parabrahman is Vishnu, that supports. And the annihilating, the devouring aspects, the supreme purity aspect, the supreme purity and the peace and bliss aspect of the Supreme Brahman is Ishvara, is the Shiva. The activity aspects is the Vishnu, the Rajasic quality, the qualities, the Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, the dynamic movement, they are all aspects of Vishnu. Supreme peace, supreme bliss, supreme purity, they are all the aspects of Shiva. That is the annihilating aspects of Parabrahman. The creative aspects is Brahma, the creator. So the job of Brahma is only, it ends with creation. It is only one time. So it is the Vishnu who takes many avatars while supporting and running this wonderful universe. Om Kapilaya Namaha. Salutations to the Supreme Sage Kapila, who is the form of Supreme Lord himself. The Supreme Lord took the form of the Kapila Maharshi, the first Maharshi to have come out, who knew the secrets of the Supreme Lord by himself, of himself, about himself. Kapila Muni is the great Maharshi, who is the great seer, the supreme witness representing the supreme consciousness. It is said that Kapila Maharshi, witnessed the evolution of the universe, how the world gradually came into being, how it evolved, how it grew manifold, how it became all this multiple universe. It is witnessed by the Kapila Maharshi, who is none other than one avatar, one of the form of the Supreme Lord himself. And Kapila Muni is supposed to have the supreme creative intelligence, the witnessing consciousness. So he witnessed the world being evolvement, world being evolved, world being emanated, world being grown and multiplied many times with pure witnessing consciousness. And this witnessing consciousness is eternal. Any person who is a sage, who is a seer, who is not attached and who is free from all desires and anxieties and fears, who is not attached to the things of the world, who is identified with the Supreme Brahman, with the Paramatman, who is totally pure and totally conscious, attains this witnessing consciousness and sees all things past, present and the future. Om Kapye Namaha. We will take up in this next session. Hari Om Tat Sat.